This is not actually the current test. This is supposed to be 5.2 test. Let's try that again. Make these changes. Oh, I did it. So I was already there. Yeah, let's go to the main one. We just downloaded. I'm gonna play some tutorials. Shall we do the first tutorial? Just tutorial to everything. Venus tutorials. Let's proceed to plugin.
What's up guys, welcome to a new Unreal Engine 5 tutorial. Today I am going to show you on how to use the new 5.2 procedural generation plugin, which is in preview. I will be using the rainforest pack, so check it out through the first link in the description to bring this plugin to life. And thanks to the creator for providing me the pack so I can make cool content with it. Alright, it's gonna be a very easy video to follow, so let's get started. Alright, so first of all, let's go ahead and create a new level. I'm gonna be using the open world, so it's easier for me to go ahead and showcase how this plugin works. So of course I'm using 5.2, it's in preview. You can go ahead and download it through the Epic Games launcher. So once you go ahead and create a new project with 5.2, what you have to do is go up here into edit, go to plugins, and then search for procedural content generation framework. And you have to go ahead and enable this plugin. A pop-up will show up that you have to restart the editor, so go ahead and press it and restart the editor. And once you have restarted, of course, the plugin will be enabled. And of course, if you're using the rainforest pack, go ahead and import it. Great, so now with all that said, it is time to actually start using it. So what we have to do is go up here into the quickly add to the project, and we're gonna go ahead and search this new PCG volume. So once you found it, you just go ahead and drag it into the scene. And this will be just a square. This is gonna be the area that, well, basically it will spawn all the things that we're gonna go ahead and save will be enabled. And of course, you go ahead and show.
So you look for the plugin.
Alright, so first of all, let's go ahead and create a new level. I'm gonna be using world, so it's easier for me to go ahead and create a new. It's gonna be a very easy video to follow, so let's get started. Alright, so first of all, let's go ahead and create a new level. I'm gonna be using to follow, so let's get started. Alright, so
you need to press start playing and killing this computer for using the cell. Can you see? What?
First of all, let's go ahead and create a new level.
It's file, something creating a level. New level.
I'm gonna be using the open world, so it's easier for me to go ahead and showcase how this plugin works. So of course I'm using 5.2, it's in preview. You can go ahead and download it through the Epic Games launcher. So once you go ahead and create your new project with 5.2, what you have to do is go up here into edit,
launch it,
go to plugins, and then
you go to plugin to launch it. You need to go over here on the new version. So whenever this comes, you browse on here and then you can install it. Took me a little bit of a while. Yeah. Plugins.
Search for procedural content generation framework, and you have to go ahead and enable this plugin.
So where the hell did he find plugins?
What you have to do is go up here into edit, go to
edit plugins. Is this thing open yet though? Stunning prerequisites. Hopefully it's not waiting for freaking memory system, something like that. Something of the sort. See. Prerequisites. Yeah, that's what thing. Solid prerequisites. Something. Looking into this thing. Well, yeah. Let's continue with the
plugins and then search for procedural content generation framework. And you have to go ahead and enable this plugin. A pop-up will show up that you have to restart the editor. So go ahead and press it and restart the editor. And once you have restarted, of course, the plugin will be enabled. And of course, if you're using the rainforest pack, go ahead and import it. Great, so now with all that said, it is time to actually start using it. So what we have to do is go up here into the quickly add to the project, and we're gonna go ahead and search this new PCG volume. So once you found it, you just go ahead and drag it into the scene. And this will be just a square. This is gonna be the area that just go ahead and drag go ahead and search this new PCG volume. So once you found it, you just go ahead and drag it into the scene. And this will be just a square. This is gonna be the area that, well, basically it will spawn all the things that we're gonna go ahead and save through the nodes. So once you have it selected, go into its PCG component, and we can go and we see that we have a asset, which is basically gonna be the graph. So we selected, we can go up here into create new asset, and we can create a new PCG graph. Let's go ahead and select it, and then in my, I'm gonna just leave it like this. So let's go ahead and say save, and then there we go. Let's go ahead and open it up. So instantly you will see that it is very similar to, let's say, meta sounds, right? It is kind of the same style, and of course very similar to blueprints too. Anyway, so on here you can see that we have all the list of the nodes that we want to use, and also we can also, like always, go ahead and right click and start writing it. Again, we have an input and an output node, so of course we're gonna get our parameters from here, and then of course finish processing everything through the output. So let's begin by going ahead and first of all showing a very simple node, which will basically just pick up random points in a surface and spawn some things in it. Let's go ahead and right click and search for surface sampler, and this is exactly what I have just said. We just go ahead and get a surface and just provide us some random points in it, so we can start spawning some stuff in it. So we now go ahead and expand our input. You can see that we have some parameters over here that we can basically get our landscape. So this of course will be our surface. And now from output, we can go ahead and drag it into the output. Now, we're not gonna do that right now because we're gonna be applying some static mesh right now. The thing is that if I go ahead and save it and go back into here and get our box, and then let's say that we want to make it bigger, of course. So let's block the scale and make this, like, for example, 100. I mean, let's start a bit smaller. Let's start by 20 only, right? And then I click on generate. Nothing will happen, but it makes sense. We are not passing an output. But the thing is that if we right click on our surface sample node, we can activate this debug, and I can go back and we can see all the points that it will spawn our static mesh, or later on what we say, and it's already looking really cool. And this is at runtime, so for example I can just move it and then we'll go ahead and update once I have determined its position. And yes, if I go and press play, for example, I can just go and also start moving it from here. So if I set to movable, okay, and then selected, I also can move it up play, okay, and right now I am in play mode. So this can be really powerful later on when you're gonna be, for example, making procedural worlds randomly, when, for example, like Minecraft or Valheim, something like that, right? Anyway, let's go back into our node. Let's right click and disable debug. And now it's time to actually go ahead and spawn some actual meshes, right? So we can now get our out node, and then what we can do is just say static mesh spawner, and this will go ahead and spawn a static mesh. So we can now plug this into the output, and then if we select our static mesh spawner node, we can see the details. So what we have to do is go ahead and apply a mesh. So we can do this by going in mesh entries. Let's go ahead and open this. Sorry, not open this, but yeah, I mean add one new item into the collection, and now we can search our mesh. So I'm here, I'm gonna find some cool assets from the rainforest pack. So let's go into the rainforest pack. Let's go into meshes. Let's go and find a cool tree. So for example, let's say for example, I'm gonna click this tree over here. Let's go ahead and just drag it in, and then instantly you will see that if I go here, it will update and we have all the trees. And yes, I did not need to generate this again. Like I said, this works like a runtime. We don't have to like the old system, go and generate again, wait a few seconds, you know, wait until it appears again. This is instant. This is the power that it has. And of course, it is, you know, too much. There's a huge density over here. So let's go back inside of here, and what we can do is go to the surface sampler, and we can change this value here, which is the points per square meter. This is pretty much the density. Right now it's pretty low, but
following this, I'm gonna need to look back again to actually check out. See.
We need to make it even lower. So let's say that we want to do 0.005, for example, right? We can now save it. And now if we enter back again, you can see that now we have a more decent amount of
density.
Okay, so
decent
let's go ahead
density.
And apply some more vegetation into this, and also make the area a bit bigger. So let's get the scale and put it to 200, for example, and boom, instantly more trees. Now maybe 200 is a bit too much for this example, so let me just put it to 100 maybe. Yeah, that's a bit better. So you can see instantly how cool this looks. All the things over here. Now we can start adding more trees into the same collection on the static mesh spawner. So basically our density
activated
between all of the lists.
And now that I said it,
for example, if I were to add a new item in this case over here, like a palm tree, you will see that it will not add.
Hashtag subscribe to this guy. But to work at games, just subscribe, right? Like, we'll also find you.
You know, these trees and then more palm trees in between.
Not sure about that.
It will basically replace some of the trees with the palm trees, so it will basically share the density, in other words. So let's go into our static mesh spawner and just add in another entity, and now we can
happen for a second
with the palm tree, so it will basically share the density, in other words. So let's go into our static mesh spawner and just add in another entity, and now we can just search, for example, yes, our palm trees, for example, this one, right? Just drag it here, and then I can go back here, and instantly you can see that now I have our palm trees. And yeah, like I mentioned before, it's not adding ones in between, it is sharing between different ones. Let's add a few more. Let's go ahead and just add 2 more ones over here. So let's add, for example, where was this cool tree? Where is it? There's so many things that you can choose here. Okay, rainforest tree. Let's go ahead and add this one, and then let's also go ahead and say that we want this banana tree, for example, and let's plug it in here. So now instantly, boom, there we go, everything got updated, and you can see how already it is generating our jungle over here with this really cool rainforest pack. Of course, there are many more things that you can start adding to make it look better.
Freaking hours can be saved?
Of course, but let's say that now we want to add another layer.
Well, and these prerequisites have been like the installation of the probably 5 minutes of the video or something. So, and we've got some time already.
And this is gonna be like bushes. But the thing is that we want to keep our density like this, but add more bushes in between. Well, this is good because basically our output nodes can basically have more than one pin into it. So now what we can do is basically copy and paste our surface sample node, plug in the landscape, and then go and make another static mesh spawner. And then here, what we can do is basically add another entity. And in this case, let's say that we want to find our ground cover. And for example, this bush over here, right? Let's plug it in, and now we can plug it into our output. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and save. We don't have to save, but I just like to save it. Now you will see that there's not much of a difference, and well, it is basically being created exactly on other points. This is because pretty much the surface sampler is identical. So first of all, let's put a bit the density up. So let's say 0.01. Now you will see that we have more bushes in between, but still we're having some of them in the exact same position. like I said, it's exactly the same node. But we are lucky, we can change the seed. For example, let's put 47.
Let's see.
And now we will have
I can barely read this stuff.
now is of course
Everybody
getting another seed.
so pixelated.
If you don't know what a seed is, I don't
Gives
know
me that
how
classic
to play
feeling
Minecraft or whatever.
of the
But basically
90s.
just
Oh yeah.
a type of coordinates for each one, right? Not exactly that, but it's like a version of the spawning system in some words, maybe. Anyway, it's just going ahead and resolving this issue, spawning in other places. So great. Let's say that I want to now go ahead and make this a bit better. So let me add a landscape material into it. In this case, the rainforest pack. So let me just quickly go here into materials, landscape, get my rainforest pack, go here and drag it in. So we start getting a bit more details into it, and it starts looking better. Okay, so let me just go ahead and go into the landscape mode and quickly just go ahead and assign the ground layer. Start getting a bit more
that's why in 13 minutes you can grab so much.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and go to the landscape mode and
just check out the scan real quick. And quick gets up and well. The prerequisites are still being installed. It's pretty fun. UnrealEngine 5.2. I mean, I am in a laptop. 6050s. That's pretty cool. Here's like UE5 Rockstar stuff. Stuff like this. Cool. Oh man, I have so much to. That's the thing about this project. Oh yeah, get that going on. Yeah. This is gonna take a while. I mean, the prerequisites are being installed, so whenever that happens, I'll see what my experience is, if I can follow the broker real quick. Get some quick forest going on. I'll try to use the, what is this? The procedural generative plugin to make like the forest can be done like quickly. And let's try the typical forest and I wonder what is actually getting into the microphone. We're gonna need to check this out. Nice defender. Cool. And what is this up? It's a big one. Yeah, that one already. Get out of here. There's two. That's opening now. You guys can see right now it starts like totally dying because of being present. Okay, this food steak. Check out the large channel volumes. Well, the voice is like more on the front. Or what's going on? Go back to number 4. There we go. Yo, am I still here? Yeah, the voice is more on the front there. Did some changes to the EQ. Make sure it wasn't flipping. But yeah, there's still kind of like something wrong. Oh, my stomach's hurting. Need to more to it these acids with something. Told you. Remember you told me like it's so bad. Ah. Preview available. Man. Oh, look, it's looking look at that action. Let's throw an extra dot. Well, it looks green. Then the other one. Let's do this. What? What's happening? What's happening? In circles. Well, someone can really make me pass down waiting for these freaking. What's going on over here with it? There you go. Similar to like. Really gonna need a blanket. There's some display. Nice things. Forest, BCG, X. EX. And then I could create. What we're gonna put recreate. Oh, that's alright. Forest. You better remember forest. It's maybe we don't know. Look around. You know, the delivery goes like the restaurant is so slow. Still waiting. That little is working. Well, the length of this video is gonna be like how long it took for me to open that UnrealEngine. I meant to learn like a couple of procedures. I mean, you can learn from Orcam and see what other I call this suggestions this thing gives us. Carrying with ChatGPT and some promising. Yeah, like somebody pointed out, I mean, like a speech to text that tells the game with VR, it's gonna be really quite something. Quite something. Journey. And yes, taking back. Where Jackson, but yeah, it's just everything you could do. I mean, that's quite some favorite. You guys see how the freaking 8 starts storing? Let's see. Winter really starts doing stuff. You know, there's like a shade, black, like rain. I was like, I'm going to work. There's a distortion for you, but sounds like a lot of good things. Let's see if we can answer. Yeah, honestly. Eating, it's Mexico, USA. Continue here for me. In the form of the food, what is that for? Oh my god, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Or better something. So I guess getting me away. How long this is gonna take? Long. Alright, until next time. Please we learn Gorgon to freaking do this. Procedural generation for 5.2. God bless. And